Hello.
How is everyone, or how are you? That didn't come out because it kind of like mixed my words up.
Are you getting any feedback? Because I am.
What are you getting feedback from?
Okay, talk again. Am I sounding all right to you?
You sound all right. I sound
Okay.
all right to me.
Okay. Perfect.
If we don't
Perfect.
sound all right, y'all, you just need to tell us on Rumble because we're
Yeah.
on our personal YouTube pages, but not um
We're on Rumble and we're on our personal pages as well.
yes. Yes. Um I'm trying to get Rumble up. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm distracted just a little bit. I'm trying to earn Rumble on.
Yeah. But it's not playing. It says we have 19 on there, but I don't know. I'm trying to watch several channels at one time, but we'll be able to do that once we have our guest on. But if y'all could, depending on where you're watching, if you could like our YouTube channels, if you could give us a Rumble, that would be fabulous. Um, I'm only able to toggle one at a time over here just because of my channels.
Um Chaz is texting me, y'all. And I was thinking it was something I was needing to answer. So sorry about that. Okay, housekeeping. She's already told you we need thumbs up, we need rumbles. It's going to be on Redneck Rhapsody. It's going to be on CJ's H2O Wellness Warriors. And you need to tell yeah, I know my fingers are backwards, y'all. It's so weird to point to the wrong side of the screen to get her pointed to. CJ needs to tell you about what she gonna do.
What I'm going to do. All right. If you're on my channel watching this and you watched my last show that I did, I think it was on Sunday evening, I did give you a list of items that I have planned out as far as podcasts, which I absolutely do. This was something that Trina and I talked about launching on our platforms earlier today. So that will take the place of my podcast that I was going to do tonight. However, I probably will do a podcast either late tomorrow, or what I might do is Friday because I'm out tomorrow evening. But I will put on another podcast on there as I promised on Sunday night. And we'll be going over all of those topics, and we might even be piggybacking on some of the things that we're talking about tonight. But Trina had asked me, and anybody that is watching, so you can go over and like my channel. I am launching on Monday, June the 20th. Okay. The next gut reset, I'm doing a hormone rebalance, reboot, and then a call to lifestyle changes, which, yes, will involve body fat loss, all those different kinds of things, but no deprivation. So I'm launching 3 programs starting again on Monday, and there is 10% off of the items that you will need for those programs. So if you have questions for me, email me at h2owellnessnetwork@gmail.com. That's h2owellnessnetwork@gmail.com. That's what I got, Chica.
That's what she's got, y'all. We're going to have Thirsty Thursday tomorrow night. We weren't going to, but for all of you who haven't heard, Mr. Welch's surgery did not go as planned. It got postponed. Somebody needs to be a little bit healthier with their diet, and I'm not going to push that button any longer. So, needless to say, he will not be doing that for at least probably 2 weeks, and I get to roll with my regular schedule, y'all. So there you go. There was something else I needed. Oh, I don't know if we'll be with Whiskey and Wisdom, but we will be here for Thirsty Thursday. Let's see. Mark Z, you're invited. So just let me know if you want to join. So I'll let all of you tell me, do y'all want to do with Thirsty Thursday and Whiskey and Wisdom all together? Or we can just do Thirsty Thursday. And I would say it would be us girls hanging out, but CJ's not going to be around tomorrow night.
Right.
But Punisher Dallas texted me earlier and said he was good for Thirsty Thursday. So I don't have to, bring solo. But I'll just let all y'all chime in on your comments and let me know what y'all want to do, because y'all be able to either click on Mark Z's one. Actually, he's on the trolling news with Mark Z, because he got his little hand in the cookie jar slapped, because he started talking about things that happened in January last year, 2021.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff that's, being talked about that a lot. And he made a little comment, and I mean, they zapped him within like 5 minutes after he got off the air. So yeah, he's in trouble. All in one. I got one vote, y'all. They want all in one.
All in one.
Yep.
I always seem to miss them. I've only been on the one, but that's all right. That's all right. It's all good.
Well, that's not to say we won't be doing that when you come back. So there you go.
Yeah, that's all good. All good.
Absolutely.
All good. So
we have a guest, y'all, and she's hanging out in the back room waiting on us,
yeah.
because we wanted to not bore her with all of our housekeeping stuff. And by the way, some of what will be being talked about tonight, I just want to reiterate, for health management, CJ has her channel, but mine, I do supplements. I've told y'all I'm doing the MMS. I wanted to say the initials the correct way, and which is chlorine dioxide. Today I found, just so y'all can write this down, I'm trying, I'll drop this in the links, but it's mypatriotsupply.com.
Yeah.
Under products, and it's aquamarine chlorine dioxide water treatment, which I'm sure you can find it in their stuff. It's on sale for $14.99. What we usually pay $23.99 for, getting it through the Prepared Bear, this website has it on sale right now for $14.99. That's a ridiculously good deal.
And explain to them we did put the link on there, and it's in another one of our broadcasts, for the correct book and the difference between the two books. There's the solution book, and then there's the other one. I always get them mixed up.
One's are MMS, like recovery systems book. It's a recovery something, and it's the one that has the protocols in it. Like if you've got a spider bite, or if you've got different things going on with you. I can't say certain things because the last time I did, we got in trouble.
But you can go on and look at those books, see the difference, or if you're so inclined, I mean, I might order both of them. I mean, one I think you can get for free. That's an ebook, and we can, since we are on YouTube, like I said, I don't want our channels to get hit, so we'll talk about that more. Just give you guys which is which and which is which, and which you might want to order when we are not on our personal YouTube channels. Or again,
right?
If you have questions for us, you can email us. And we'll answer. For you. So.
And you can always direct message us on Patriot Shoot or Telegram.
Yeah, and even in our YouTube channels, send us a message. Like if you're on Trina's YouTube channel right now, and please like both of our channels, because we both have different things that you may be interested in or offer. So you can, if you don't have our email, send us a message on our YouTube channel. Say, what were you all talking about? Whatever. And I know I will not answer you there, but I will give you my email address to send me an email, and I will answer you in that email.
Perfect. I just wanted everybody to know that I'd found the MMS chlorine dioxide on sale, and where I had found that. And I will get that and drop it in the links to this. It may not be today. It may be tomorrow when I set tomorrow's show up, but I will do that. So just to let you know, but no further ado, we're running behind and we're sorry. We told her 5 minutes and then we've taken 10, but just so y'all know, you've met her before. But here's Miss Colleen, and I'm going to make her give you the rundown of all of her background. Hi, Colleen.
Hi, Angel Warriors. How are you tonight?
We're great. Okay.
You guys are looking so beautiful.
I don't know that we've ever thank you so much. You're so sweet. And you look great in royal blue. That's a good color on you.
Oh, thanks. It's one of my uniform shirts.
Okay. She's
So
being all official, y'all. She's going to do us some first aid and training tonight, and I'm going to let her just basically run with it.
Yeah.
But before you do that, Colleen, I want you to kind of give them how many years you've been as a first response responder.
I've been in emergency medicine for 30 years now. I teach at several different colleges. I teach EMT. I teach advanced first aid and CPR, and then I teach injury prevention as well. So it's one of my loves that I love to do besides being a healer. So it's very exciting. You know, I've taught in
Awesome.
Haiti. I've taught thousands of people in Haiti by myself to make sure that they know how to save a life over there because there's no training.
Awesome.
So we went over to Haiti and we've done, like I said, 1,000 people with nurses and doctors because the nurses, they don't get the training, neither do the doctors over there. So we're setting up a really amazing school over in Haiti. I sent a $100,000 mannequin over there so we could be the training hub over there and probably start an EMT school when everything goes down the pike. That's one of our projects. So what I thought about covering tonight, if you guys are okay with this, is I'd like to do what to do in the home if somebody's choking, what to do in the home if somebody gets burned, what to do in the home if somebody has no pulse and they're not breathing. So we'll do CPR. I'll show them an AED. However, I know they probably don't have an AED in their home, but if they're out, I want them to know what it looks like and how to use it.
Okay.
And I'll have my cameraman over here kind of move when I go. But so the first thing I want to talk about is choking. All right. So I'm going to kind of move the camera a little bit. So when we have choking, we have the mannequin here, right? Say I'm standing up. So when somebody's choking, the universal sign for choking is here like this.
Hang on one second, Colleen. I'm trying to give you the screen.
So this is the universal sign for choking. Is that a good angle?
Yep.
Okay. So this is the universal sign for choking. Most people don't do that, especially women. Women run to the bathroom and they die in there. So if anybody gets up and runs to the bathroom, especially a woman, from the table, we need to make sure that we check on them. Okay. So before we touch them, especially if we're out in public, we need to ask them, can I help you? Are you choking? So if they say yes, you're going to go around behind them and you're going to stagger your feet like, let me see. Can you turn it down just a little bit like that? Yeah. You're going to stagger your feet with one foot in front of the other. Can you see that, Trina?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you're going to go above the xiphoid process. Okay. Above the belly button and below the xiphoid process, excuse me. Okay. So you're going to be here like this. And do a 45 thrust towards the shoulder blades. So you're going to do as many as it takes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as many as it takes until the object comes expelled or they go unconscious. So when they go unconscious, we're going to go ahead and do a modified CPR. All that modification is that we're looking in the airway every time when we do CPR.
Okay.
So how do I know if somebody's choking? They cannot cough, they cannot breathe, and there's no air exchanger, usually turning blue. Brain cells start to die in 4 to 6 minutes. So I'm going to show you a little bit up closer here. You see this here is the xiphoid process. Here's the belly button. You want to put the fist like this.
Okay.
Here, above the belly button, below the xiphoid process, and this hand comes behind. And then you go 45-degree angle up towards the shoulder blades. Okay?
Okay.
So now, when the person goes unconscious from choking, maybe you're gonna have to see if that works a little bit better. you know that they've gone down from choking. They were choking, you were doing the abdominal thrust, they've just gone down. You're going to go straight to the chest, lock and lean. You want to be over the lower half of the sternum, arms straight, lock your arms. You want to do 30 compressions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Then you're going to do a head tilt chin lift if there's no spinal injuries. And we know there's no spinal injuries because they were choking. I'm going to look in the airway. I'm not going to fish it all in the airway. If I see anything in the cheek, I'm going to go ahead and use a pinky and get it out on the side of the mouth. But if you don't see anything, we're not probing in the back of the throat. So then you're going to try to blow. It doesn't go in. You can readjust. Try to blow again. Back to 30 chest compressions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Modified jaw thrust. Modified airway. We're going to look inside, see if there's anything there. There's nothing there. I'm going to go attempt to breathe. If nothing goes through, readjust, attempt to breathe. So it's 30 compressions to 2 breaths. Now, when we start CPR, we don't know why they're down, right? So we want to check and see if they're okay. In CPR, you do 30 compressions to 2 breaths. 5 cycles equals 2 minutes. Okay? So, first thing you're going to do is, hey, you okay? You go call 911 and get the AD and come back. Feel for a pulse no longer than 10 seconds. If there's no pulse, lock and lean. 30 compressions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Head tilt, chin lift. Breathe. Breathe. So you want to do 5 cycles of that. How do I know if the air is going through? Well, the chest is rising and falling. So if you don't get any air in, there's something blocking it. We want to make sure that we're getting air in and the breaths are effective. And how do we know that? Is when the chest rises and falls. So I'll do 5 cycles so you see what it looks like. We're going 100 to 120 beats per minute. That's how fast we want to be going. We want to do 5 cycles, which is equal to 2 minutes. Okay? Hey, you okay? You go call 911 and get the AD and come back. Feel for a pulse. There's no pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 2 breaths. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 2 breaths. Five cycles for 2 minutes, 30 compressions to 2 breaths. Compress the chest 2 inches and 100 to 120 beats per minute. That's what you want to reach. Any questions?
I'm trying to get you with us on the side and nothing is working the way I want it to.
Well, because they can see, right?
Yeah, they could see all of it. They saw you. I've just been trying to make it to where you're bigger and we're just barely on the side because I feel weird talking to you when nobody can see me.
Well, it's okay as long as they can see. So it's 30 compressions to 2 breaths, right? 100 to 120 beats per minute, 2 inches. Now this is a baby. My baby needs a bath. I left him in the trunk. So if the baby's choking, you want to grab a C or a check mark here. You want to have the head down. You want the heel of your hand in between the shoulder blades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Scoop the head, turn them over. Now, obviously, you'd be standing up. I'm down on the ground, and you want to be using your leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cradle the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 back blows, 5 chest thrusts. 5 back blows, 5 chest thrusts. Then if the baby goes unconscious, you're going to put the baby down. 2 fingers, 1 finger width below the nipple line with 2 fingers. Hold the head in a sniffing position. You're going to do 30 compressions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Look in that mouth, modify that airway. There's nothing in there. I'm going to try. Doesn't go through. And try again. Doesn't go through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 29, 30. Look in that airway. Nothing there. Try to breathe. Doesn't go through. Try to breathe again. Now, guys, if it's your loved one, you can do mouth to mouth. If you do mouth to mouth on an infant, you go over the whole nose and mouth to make sure there's no air escaping, because our main objection is to get air into the lungs. If you do it on an adult and it's your loved one, pinch the nose and breathe through the mouth. However, if it's anybody else, you should have a face mask, a little pocket CPR mask, okay? So if your child is not choking and it's just they're lying there and they're still, I want to grab them, their leg, tap that foot. Baby, are you okay? You go call 911, get the AD, come back. And then you're going to feel for a brachial pulse in between the bicep and the tricep there, okay? There is no pulse, so there's a pulse below 60. You're going to take 2 fingers, 1 finger width below the nipple line, 2 fingers on the sternum, head in neutral inline position, the sniffing position is called. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Breathe. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 5 cycles of 30 to 2. 30 compressions to 2 breaths. So that's your infant and adult.
Okay, someone has a question or a statement, actually.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to read what they said. Need to add that after a few cycles of compressions and breaths, you need to check to see if they have a pulse now and are breathing on their own, since you could stop the heart again if you continue.
That's kind of old school. It doesn't hurt. It's not in the AHA guidelines right now. But it's not going to hurt if you check a pulse.
Okay.
Because you can't, the only thing that we could really, if I slam the chest like that, I can stop or start. And also if I use the AED here, which if you see this in an airport or something and somebody goes down, this is what you need. This is called an automated external defibrillator.
I think they've got them in all of the high school gyms where I'm around too.
They should. and they should have them in all the schools and everything.
Yeah.
So we trained all of FHP here 30 years ago. I was one of the first ladies to train FHP. So all they do is open up.
Hey, can I ask one question before we get real deep into that on choking?
Yep.
While we were still on choking, if you are having issues, like let's say it's a baby where they can't communicate with you, as well.
Uh-huh.
If you never saw anything dislodge and you're still doing compressions, at some point, would you need to take the baby and turn it back to where you could see if you could do the pattern like you did on the back and the head down to see if you can dislodge it after you've done that a little bit, maybe?
Your main objective is to get air in.
Okay.
If you get air in, that means that object, if they were definitely choking and you couldn't get it out, that probably went down the right mainstream bronchi.
Okay.
They need to go to the hospital. Anybody that chokes needs to go to the hospital. Anybody that, does do CPR on, they need to go to the hospital. Unfortunately, we need to go at that time, right?
Okay.
But it usually goes down into the mainstream bronchi because it's a straight line, the trachea to the right. So they'll just go down with a little basket and get it out. It's not really that bad, It's bad when we can't move it at all. Okay. So what you would tell EMS is that they were choking. I couldn't get alleviated. Then finally I got air in. So then they'll know it's in the right mainstream.
Okay. Okay. That's
if I can chime in on that really, really quick. I can tell you from firsthand experience, like my son pretty much saved my life a couple of years ago. But I don't even want to jinx myself here, but I choke a lot because I have a restricted esophagus and they will not stretch it for me. And so I've had several times, and I think Trina was even with us during the time period when that happened, where it's a horrible, horrible feeling. And there's been 2 or 3 really close calls, but unfortunately, that type of activity happens frequently.
So, CJ, I'm going to teach you something then. If you're at home and by yourself, right, you can go up against the wall. Okay, say there's a wall behind me. Okay, just pretend I'm at the wall. You're going to go above the belly button and below the xiphoid process and do it to yourself on the wall like that, right? Now, I want you to dial 911 first because you only have 45 seconds before you go down. Right. Or you can use a chair. Okay, put the chair here. Straddle a little bit. Now I'm a lot taller than you, Siege, so you got to find something shorter, okay?
Yeah.
So
I know.
Now into this here. Boom, 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 okay? Or you'll get a hard book. Look what book I chose. Okay, so you'll get a hard book and you'll ram it in. Okay? So either those 3 with you. Now, I always tell my students, because I used to be a big proponent of eating peanut butter on a spoon until I went to medic school. That's the worst thing you could do. I can't get a tube. I can't get anything down. So eat your peanut butter on a cracker or an apple or something to break it down because it sits in a glob in your throat. So we need to make sure that we don't do that. Is there any questions on that?
No, I don't see any more questions right now or statements or anything.
See, you okay with that now? You know how to take care of yourself if you're at home by yourself and you choke. It's very important. Up against the wall, a chair, or a book.
Yes.
But you need to dial 911 first immediately.
Yep.
Okay. So the AEDs, these things are phenomenal. So this is what they look like in real life. Okay. They're big. This is, I like this cardiac science. So you just open, this is a semi-automated. You open it up.
Okay.
I'll tell you exactly what
Tear
to do.
open package and remove pads.
Okay.
To open package and remove pads.
So I'm gonna
Peel
go-
one pad from plastic liner.
So I'm going to go to the trainer one now.
Peel one
So
pad
what you'll
from plastic
do
liner.
is bare chest.
Peel one pad
You'll
from
have to
plastic
go
liner.
on the pads. They'll show you.
Peel one
Where they
pad
go.
from plastic liner.
I'm going to shut this down for a minute. So this will go here. Right? Obviously the person's laying down, right? And here. So you're going to go here and here. Okay?
Okay.
The person's lying down. They're going to connect the pads.
You're going to have to tilt your camera or scoot further back in the floor
Hold
for
on
me.
a second.
Apply
Tilt
pads
it.
to patient's bare chest. Plug in pads connector next to flashing light.
That better?
Yep.
Okay. So there's semi-automated and there's fully automated. If you have to press the button, they're semi-automated. This one is a semi-automated. These are what they look like. Okay, right now I'm going to use a trainer.
Okay.
We'll walk through the whole thing and tell you what to do. So I'm going to place it up by the ear over here. I never reach across. Never. I never use this in a puddle of water. If they're very hairy, I need to kind of shave the chest. I can take this and pull it off because there's usually two sets of pads in there. So they can't be, and then they can't be saturated. So you have to dry them down. They need to have a bare chest. Women, their bras have to be off. Okay. So, and you can't use them on an iron grid. There's, so you got to think about those things. If there is a medical patch on them, try to put gloves on or something on your hand and take it off. If they have a pacemaker or a defibrillator, just go 2 or 3 inches underneath. So here I know that this person has no pulse and no breathing and they're unconscious. That's when I do CPR, and that's when I use this AED. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to put it down by the ear. I'm going to turn it on.
Apply pads.
I'm going to apply the pads where they tell you to go.
Pads connector
One here.
next to flashing light.
And one here.
Apply pads.
I'm going to plug in the pad. Analyzing, don't touch.
Do not touch the patient. Shock advised.
Okay. So
Charging.
obviously you're not going to pull it up, but I want to show
Stay
you.
clear of patient.
This is going to light up. This shock button. It looks like a lightning bolt. You see it?
Yeah.
You don't pick it up. So I'm going to say, I'm clear. You're clear. Everybody's clear. Shocking now. Clear.
Shock delivered.
The person will jump like that because I just sent
CPR.
electricity through it. Then I do CPR at times for 2 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We want to leave those pads on until EMS comes. A lot of times they can retrofit it into their LifePak 15. So also too, that person's going to jump. You need to stay away from that person when you shock them. We don't need to shock ourselves. It could be deadly for ourselves. However, this is so simple to use. I've taught 5-year-olds how to do it. So this thing is very amazing. It shocks 2 rhythms. It shocks VFib and pulseless VTAC. What's happening in VFib is the heart is quivering at 500 or 600 times a minute, and it's not behaving itself because it's supposed to be in between 60 and 100. So we need to stop the abnormal heart rhythm. So what this AED does is says, hey, stop it. You guys are misbehaving. You will all need to go back to your room 60 to 100, and hopefully it will start again in between the 60 to 100. 80 is an average, so that would be good if it started back. Any questions on that?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Nurse Lynn says, great job, Colleen.
Aw, tell Nurse Lynn I love her, and I can't wait to see you guys.
You just did.
Can't wait to see you. So just keep in mind, this is your friend. It does much better than CPR because our heart is electrical. So we want to stop that abnormal rhythm, and hopefully it will start back. Don't worry about anything. This is going to tell you everything to do, when to start CPR, when to stop CPR. So it's a great tool. This is one of my favorite things. We had a save at the UCF, University of Central Florida. The guy was 37 years old. We used the AED on him. He got to see, he missed his daughter graduating that day, but he's probably going to get to walk her down the aisle because that was the worst. He had a widowmaker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so good thing. And I had my partner check up on him because she worked at one of the hospitals here in town. So, all right. So are there any questions on CPR? Remember, you want to go at a rate of 100 to 120. You want to go at a ratio of 30 compressions to 2 breaths all across the board. We're not going to get into the healthcare provider stuff. It's 30 to 2 all across the board. Lynn knows if we have healthcare providers, it changes a little bit, but we're not going to go into that. We're lay people here, right? So 30 compressions, 2 inches deep, 2 breaths, enough to have the chest rise and fall for 2 minutes, equal 5 cycles. If you have an AED around, use the AED. If it's in the public, you do not do mouth to mouth. You could do hands-only CPR, which is just chest compressions if you don't have a mask. But if it's your loved one, over the nose and mouth of the infant, pinch the nose on the adult, and it's all 30 to 2.
Well, can I ask you one of those redneck questions?
Sure. I love redneck questions because the rednecks are really smart. I've taught up in the mountains in North Carolina, and they did I said, well, that's not AHA, but that is amazing. And it's the rednecks work stuff,
I mean, like if they're not your family and you're at a restaurant and you do this on someone, if they've got wax paper there in the kitchen.
I would use wax paper. You could use a towel or a shirt, your shirt.
Okay.
Your shirt, take it off, and you could rotate it every time. Remember, because every time they exhale, that's their bodily fluids. So you can put a towel over it, breathe through, rotate it the next time you have to do it, okay? I would not use plastic or wax paper because they could breathe it in.
Okay.
So, but it's a good, thought process. Now, 2 other things I wanted to cover. I wanted to cover bleeding control, right? And it's going to be a little bit hard for me because my honey's holding the camera, but we'll do the best we can. So with bleeding control, you have 4x4s, which is gauze.
Hang on, I'm going to make you back.
Okay.
The only
4x4, which is gauze.
Okay.
And you have cling. It's a wrap. You also, for severe bleeding, you can use a tourniquet. Now, if you don't have a commercial tourniquet, these are $12 on Amazon for a bunch of them. I would be prepared. You never know what's going to happen. We should all have a first aid and safety kit at home. So this is really good to have in case something happens and there's an arterial bleed and we can't get them to stop bleeding. However, if you don't have these, you can use a belt. You can use a cravat with a pencil and tie it off, which I'll show you in a little bit. But we're going to talk about bleeding control. You want to try to make sure that you have your gloves on, which I don't have any here at the house, but So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to apply direct pressure. Okay? So if that doesn't work, you're going to add more to it. Apply direct pressure. We never take away from the gauze because we don't want the clotting factor to mess up. So we hold it here. If that doesn't work, we can raise it up, elevate it. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to let it go, but you don't let it go. I'm only one person. You can do a pressure point right here in between the bicep and the tricep. It's the brachial artery. You can push on that and stop it from bleeding. Now say that this is another person. So this is going to be real hard. Then you're going to take the cling and you're going to wrap the wound with the cling. Once it stops bleeding. Now I can tuck this in the field. You can cut it if you want. These are my training for my class. I'm going to check to see if I could fit 2 fingers underneath. 2 fingers underneath. So you're going to wrap it with a bandage on top. Okay, with the cling. So you got 4x4s. These are 4x4s.
Okay.
Add to it, and then you're going to use the cling to wrap it once you get it controlled with the bleeding. Any questions?
No, I'm just thinking that since I probably would never have any of that, I'll have to have a t-shirt and probably grab a belt.
It
You got your bandana though, Trina. You got your bandana with you.
Bandanas. I would have a bandana to wrap around it.
You know what? You can use your bandana. You can use a belt. I actually had one of my students tell me, Professor, you saved my dad. And I'm like, did I pick your father up on that? You know, I'm racking my brain. And he said, no, Professor, it's from you taught me in class. And he goes, and then I taught my mom. And the father shot himself in the right here. He's putting the gun in here and he shot through his leg.
Ooh.
He taught his mom how to use the belt to tourniquet it and got him to the ER.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like really happy about that. Well, I was happy that, you know, they saved his life. But here's a cravette. You can use this cravette.
How do you spell that? What is that?
It's a triangular bandage, a cravette. They're triangular bandages.
Okay.
It's called a bandana that's fancy and you can see through it.
Yeah, it is like a bandana. It's like the same. Okay, so you could take this and roll it up, right? And then you could go underneath, tie it again, wrap it, bring it around. Then you could put a pencil in here, like this. Put a pencil here. Let me see. If you put a pencil in here and then you twist it and you twist it and you twist it, it will stop it.
Okay. So it's like a tourniquet, basically.
It is a tourniquet. It's just an alternate form of a tourniquet. Out in the woods, you can use a bandana. And then, hold on, let me get a pen and I'll show you. So when you tie this in, say if it's wrapped around my arm like this, and I bring it around again. Obviously, it's not going to be that tight because it's real hard to do on yourself. Right?
Yeah. I'm like, I would already been history if what
So
you're trying to do.
you would tie it down here like that. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And then obviously this would be tied here. And you would twist it all the way down until you get no pulse in the wrist. You want to go about 2 or 3 inches above the wound. Okay. Because if you're profusely bleeding and it's an arterial bleeding, how do I know it's an arterial? It's bright red and it's spurting with the pulse. Right. We need to stop the pulse, right? We need to stop the pulse. We don't want to bleed out because you could bleed out.
Okay.
So that's a cravette or a triangular bandage. You'll see it, or a bandana or a belt, right? You can use a belt. Now, this is a commercial one. Okay. These are really good. Most of our military carry these, more expensive ones, but they're just like this. They either
Okay.
carry them here, here on the back. Okay. This is called a windslet, right? This is a windslet. So this you twist, right? These are really good because they're fast. So if they're here in military, you can open it up quick, pull it down, wrap it around, windslet yourself, tuck it in. Okay, here. Can't really. Tuck it in. Write the time that you put on the tourniquet, very important. Feel for a pulse. No pulse, good. I want to stop the bleeding. Now, people, we used to teach 30 years ago, because I've been teaching for 30 years, tourniquet's the last resort, tourniquet's the last resort. Well, we've gone to where this is almost the first resort sometimes. And we found that we can go 6 to 8 hours. Military has found this out. So these are great because, like, you saw how simple and easy that was. You want to keep them like this, right? Especially if you got a bunch of them. Then I open it up, pull it up, pull it down, windslet, tuck it in, okay? Tuck it, time, pulse, get them to the hospital, okay?
Okay.
Now, if you're out in the woods, we can last up to 6, 8 hours. Okay. So these you can buy. I bought like 6 of these 6 of them from Amazon for like $12, $13.
Okay.
Okay. So the last thing that I wanted to cover, well, there's 2 other things. We have time. Trina?
We've got
Yeah, do
about
your first 10 minutes.
12, 15 minutes.
Say that again, CJ.
No, go ahead with your first one. We're about 12 minutes till.
Okay. So we did bleeding control, right? Both with the gauze and the cling. We did it with the tourniquets. We did CPR. We did choking on infant and child. Now, if you get burned at home, it's very important to make sure that you cool that burn down. So I asked my honey to follow me over, but I could just tell you what to do if it's easier. We want to make sure that we use cool, tepid water, no ice. We want to run it under the cool, tepid water for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Then we want to get a special gauze that is it's non-stick. It's different from this gauze. They're in like aluminum foil almost, it looks like. So once we get it cooled down, depending on what type of burn it is, if it's just a 1st degree burn, we could just put aloe on it or whatever. But we want to be careful with putting something on it if it's 2nd and 3rd degree. How do I know it's a 2nd degree? Well, it bubbles. How do I know it's 3rd degree? Or they call it partial thickness and full thickness now. Bubbles is 2nd, which is partial thickness, and then it's charred on 3rd. And it could go all the way to the bone, and it could, destroy the nerves. They say that the full thickness burns don't hurt. That doesn't mean that they're not surrounded by 1st and 2nd. My brother was burned over 90% of his body with over 3rd degree burns. I mean, I think, Trina, you've seen pictures of my brother. He's my heart. He's the one I chose medicine for, right? So we want to make sure we use a nonstick gauze, 15 to 20 minutes, cooling that burn down. And then we want to wrap it. The number one problem with burns is infection. And we wrap it the same way with the nonstick gauze and the cling. Now, one other thing I wanted to cover. Is there any questions on that? I know I speak fast. I'm a New Yorker. I'm not a redneck.
No, I got all that. No.
So this is the last thing we want to do here.
I'm notorious for burns. like mild ones, thank goodness, that haven't scarred. Since I don't belong in the kitchen, every time I try to go into the kitchen and do anything, it's usually not
Hey,
good offer.
you're not a domestic goddess like me, so that's okay. All right, so if there's a fracture, guys, you could use cardboard. We could use, kind of a manufactured one. And then there's some SAM splints, which this is a SAM splint, but most people are not going to have this, right? So I would just go, you can go with a book. You can go with cardboard. So if there's a fracture, you want to go above and below the fracture site. You want to immobilize before you move. Immobilize before you move. You want to make sure that you have the hand in the position of function. You want to make sure that you check a pulse in here. Inside the radial, make sure they have a pulse. Make sure they have sensation, and make sure they can wiggle their fingers. Now, if it's an open fracture, we need to cover it. And if it's especially as a long bone, we need to get them to the ER right away. And then you could use crevettes here. It's a little bit difficult to do to myself, but you can use crevettes and tie it down in 3 spots. But we want to make sure that we immobilize before we move. Okay? Now, if it's an open fracture, this is real serious. We want to get to the ER. All fractures, basically, but we can't tell if it's not open, if it's a fracture. They have to get an x-ray, right? So we want to just immobilize before we move because we want to keep a closed fracture a closed fracture. We don't want it to become an open fracture. All right? So any questions on any of that?
No.
You can
But
use,
it's been good information. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that, I probably ought to order some of that non-sticking gauze because we do have, a grandbaby and you never know when somebody might have a burn. And I didn't realize they made something for that.
Yes, and make sure you don't use ice because ice necroses the tissue and it ruins it. So we don't want to ruin it. And then especially if it's over 3rd-degree burn, we don't want to put anything on it because then you have to debride it, and debriding is very, very painful.
Okay.
Very, very painful.
Awesome.
That gave me chills.
Well, that's not awesome, but awesome that you're telling us all this. So we're not goofballs about it. Yeah.
Well, I think everybody needs to be prepared. Everybody knows that I moved. So I wanted to share a book tonight that POTUS told everybody to get, but I don't have it. I don't know. Somebody packed it somewhere. I picked it up. I bought it from the original. I didn't buy it on Amazon. You can buy it on Amazon. It's called The Home Doctor. If you do not have this in your library, you need this book in your library. It goes through everything from A to Z, poisons, burns, fractures, how to do crevettes, which we didn't do tonight because I have to show you on another person. I can't do that by myself. What to do choking. It is a phenomenal book, and POTUS has really pushed for us to get that. So we know what to do at home. We are trying to stay out of the hospitals right now.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, with some things, with emergency, we've got to go, right? But if we could try to take care of somebody at home, that's the best thing.
So I have a question. Is the Home Doctor, is it
Excuse me, you broke up.
is it red and white? I'm looking it up now.
Can you put it on the board? I don't remember what it was because it got packed away. It's the Home Doctor. I think it's like orange and white. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But it is on Amazon.
Okay. Well, we don't have those capabilities because we girls have to have everything ahead of time and be prepared to put anything up on our
Okay,
screen.
so everybody can look. Everybody can look. It's, you know what? I mean, it's just called the Home Doctor. It has got a plethora of information from all medical doctors, poisonings, what to use, activated charcoal. You can get activated charcoal in the grocery store or Whole Foods or Chamberlain's, whatever you guys have, in your part of the country. But it soaks up all the poison. you know,
Okay.
but you still need to call poison control, right? So because some poisons need to be flooded with water, some need to be flooded with a colloid, some need to be activated charcoal. We don't really use, we used to use syrup of ipecac, and we don't really use that anymore because we don't want them to throw up, because if it burned going down, it will burn coming up. So it's vital that you call and you identify the poison, and then it's vital that you call poison control and let them know, and they'll direct you on what to do.
Okay, awesome. And someone put in the notes that for nosebleed at the ER, they told them to put Afrin in a cotton ball and put it in their nose.
I have not heard that. If it's hemorrhaging, they'll go up with a nasal tampon. Now, for any nosebleeds, you want to pinch the nose and hold your head forward and put ice on it. So you're going to have gauze. You're going to pinch the nose, hold it forward, and ice on the bridge of the nose for 15 or 20 minutes. If you cannot stop it from bleeding, you need to go to the ER, because sometimes they'll have to have you're having a nasal hemorrhage, and there's nasal tampons that they put in there.
Okay.
Trina, is it all right with you if I try to pull this up real quick? Because I want to ask Colleen if this is it.
And Afrin probably will constrict the vessels. So, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's probably a homemade nasal tampon.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can get the slender ones.
Whoops. Wait, I'm trying to find my. All right, is this it?
Yes, that's the Home Doctor. Very, very important book. Everyone should have that in their home.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that this was the correct one.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
How much is it?
It was $37. $37.
I think I paid a little more because I got an extra book with it. But like I said, that we packed up, and I'm not really sure where it is. So
it's fine. I just wanted to make sure that was the one.
Yes.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Well, you have been a wealth of information as usual, whether it's you or the guests that you bring to us. And we're so appreciative. So thank you so much for taking an hour of your time to bless us and, help us keep America healthy.
Yes. And so Wednesday, I think we're going to have some stem cell people on, right? And then
I think you changed that to Tuesday.
We'll have to look. So we'll you guys will handle that, but we're going to have that, and it's affordable, and it's amazing. I've seen miraculous things happen, and we'll have that guest on with you guys. And then I also spoke to Todd Callender. He's chomping at the bit to come on with our World Health Organization guest that you had last time.
Awesome.
So I'm setting that up for you guys. And then we're going to have probably Nana on for the manna to teach people about the manna and how to, how it helps cardiac function and how it helps diabetics. And what was the other thing that we talked about?
You're going to get me all of her information so I can have a conversation with her. We have down Dr. Joey from Haiti.
Yes, we're going to have Dr. Joey on. We're going to talk about what we do in Haiti and what's going on in Haiti. And we could kind of bring up the
tell him we would really like to know about the orphanages in Haiti and how they are going.
Yes. And, unfortunately, the first time I ever visited Haiti, I was in an orphanage my first time. And they're like, could you treat, Dr. Colleen? And I'm like, well, yeah, that's fine. And I didn't realize that, over 50% of those kids had STDs. And I was in tears. I was crying. So it was a very hard time for me. And then I had to call Dr. Joey and say, Joey, this is like, I need some meds here. I mean, I've got all these kids that are sick with, these symptoms. And Joey came over with another doctor, and boy, we did some testing, and we found out that over 50%. And I was just beside myself because I know what's going on, because you don't have an 8-year-old that knows what that is, right? So it was heartbreaking. So Joey and I have
a way to get most of those. So there you go.
Yeah. Joey and I have run the countryside in Haiti. Some of my most beautiful things I've ever done have been in Haiti. I love Haiti. And, you know, I've helped a lot of kids there. I have one in particular that I love. I call him my son. But we've you know, we used to treat 200 or 300 people in one day, you know, out in just open air, you know, people lining up to get medical help, which they can't get there. There's very lack of access to care there. So, but it's one of my fondest. I have very fond memories of going to Haiti. Unfortunately, right now we haven't been able to go for the last 4 years because of all the political stuff that's going on and the dangers for us. So we'll have Joey on. I'll get a date locked down for him, and I look forward to seeing you girls. And I thank you so much for having me on and helping America and helping the patriots and to try to keep them healthy and safe and teach them how to, you know, just take care of themselves at home.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
Patriots need to know all this. We never know how things are going to roll from one day to the next in this great big old beautiful United States of America.
I love my country and I will serve it.
I'm picking my words really carefully how I say that right now, because
I know we're trying
I'm
to.
happy that our America is not my America anymore.
No, it's not. But
So,
it's still my country, and we're
I
going to
know.
do anything. And we're one percenters, so.
That's
And
right.
we love the people, and we want the people to have the best health care between now and then, and hopefully maybe don't have to
Oh, she froze.
eat.
Yeah, she
And if
froze.
it's necessary, do go to the hospital. But if it's something that's minor that you can take care of at home, hopefully this will keep you alive till you can get to the hospital. That's the point.
The
So,
biggest thing too that you have to have in the ERs is you have to have an advocate.
yes.
You should not be going to the hospital by yourself right now.
No.
You know,
No,
we
not at all.
have, I don't know if we listed those, but we should have those forms links. If we don't, I will put them on there because I can't remember seeing, but there are forms that we have access to.
Good.
And I'll put those on my channel too that way
The-
back at the beginning of all this stuff.
Yes.
That
Mhm.
we
The healthcare proxy. You should have a healthcare proxy or a healthcare power of attorney. Yes.
But I did hear that some of those forms aren't legit anymore because they're changing stuff and trying to slide stuff. So, like, I don't even know if I have the correct.
Well, you know what, CJ, it doesn't matter if the form's correct. Let that person have it, but they have to be forceful and they have to be that person's advocate.
Right.
And they, you know, you can refuse. It's your body. It's not their body. It's your
Right.
body. What you want
And
done
you
to
can
your
check
body.
yourself out of the hospital whether they want you to or not. You can.
I had some friends of mine, one of my dearest friends, and she probably knows who I'm talking about. I won't mention her name on air, but she during that time, you know, she was in there and, you know, they said, well, you have to stay. You have this, you know what I'm talking about. And she said, there's no way. And the doctor said, well, she said, I'm leaving. And the doctor said, well, you have to sign this AMA. She goes, I ain't signing shit. And she left, you know? So, you know, she's a tough girl like all three of us, you know?
I was fixing to say she sounds like me.
Yeah, right.
I've said some choice words in the hospitals too. I mean, thank God God gave me the strength because Uncle Bill wouldn't be alive if I didn't have that strength.
That's
Well,
right.
not to change the subject, but to keep on the subject before we end, just so you know, and I may be looking at the wrong thing, Trina, but I hit the link and the solution to overcoming disease for the product that we were discussing that we can discuss on our other channels and not here on YouTube. But I tried to pull it up and it said the video is no longer available because the YouTube account associated with this video has been terminated.
Wow. See, they're censoring us. We're right over the mark. So, you know.
And I can give the name on here, Jim Humble. If you guys want to look him up, Jim Humble. So I can give that. But I was looking for we'll on our other channel that's not associated with our two YouTube channels. We'll get you that information. So if you want to follow us on there, send us a message if you're not on our other channels, and we'd be happy to connect you.
Well, thank you guys for sharing time with me tonight.
Thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having me. And thank you, America. And we'll see you guys soon next week, you beautiful angel warriors. And I look forward to having all these people on next week with all of us and sharing some more knowledge and keeping everybody safe.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank
So
you.
good to see you.
Night, y'all.
Guys, thank you. Love you guys.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
bye-bye.